All right, so we're going to start going over some of the homework questions. These are pretty similar to the practice book questions, but different. Okay, so let's take a look at what we have going on here. All right, so either true or false statements and explain why. So line plots are used to show a large quantity. That's a false statement because the line plots are for smaller data sets. Smaller data, data sets. Okay, you would like to use histograms and stem and leaf plots. Histograms and stem and leaf plots can show large quantity of data and the overall shape. That is a true statement, right? Hey, we use bins, right? But by using bins, like groups of numbers, it prevents us from seeing the actual real numbers. And then box plots show the shape, but we have to calculate a 5-number summary. And what are those 5 numbers? Those 5 numbers are the mean, median, the range, the max, minimum, and the quartile. Well, I guess we can get rid of range because you kind of need the range to figure out the maximum, minimum, and the median sometimes. And then you have the first quartile point, which is the median of the first half, and then the second quartile, which is the median of the second half. So hopefully that should help you out with that one. Okay, fuel efficiency, 250 cars. That's a lot of cars. Right, 250 cars were surveyed. Which should we use? A histogram. Histograms are going to be the best for large groups. Large data sets. Right, a box plot wouldn't make a lot. You could use a box plot, but it'd be a little tedious. Okay, a line plot. It's just too many data points. Stem and leaf plot also too many data points. So line plot, not enough data points. Explain your reason for number 4. You can split it into ranges easy. 250 numbers, 50 data points. Points is a lot and can be divided into different bins. Let's delete repeated word. It's spelled divided right. And differently, indifferent. DIFFERENT, different bins. All right, so that's what you're looking for there. Okay, so let's go to number 5 here. Greg he's looking for a new SUV, and these are the fuel economies of the SUV. A line plot or a histogram. So there ain't any repeating values here, right? These are all like different values in the data set, right? So a line plot would just be like a line with single dots over each individual line. So it really wouldn't show us a good representation of the data set. So a histogram. Is better. Histogram. No repeating data. Right. Can split the data into bins easily. Okay, so there's that answer there. All right, so now let's go down to the second page, and we have a frequency table and a relative frequency table. All right, so here you just kind of have to look and see how they figure out these things here. I mean, it's the same it's the same data, just showing them to you in different ways. All right, so let's get a calculator out, and if I add 87, add all these together, what do I get? All right, so 65 plus 87 plus 32 plus 16. It's a nice round 200. Nice round 200. All right, so now what percentage of each one of these is what is the percentage of each one of these? All right, so if I do 200 divided by 65, I'm going to get 32.5. Right? So if I divide that by 200, I'm going to get the decimal equivalency of that percentage. If I divide this by 200, I'm going to get the decimal equivalent of that, which is 0.43. And so on and so forth. Divide each one of those by 200 and divide that by 200. And that is that. For instance, if I do 16 divided by 200, it's pretty obviously going to be just 0.08 or 8%. Okay, so in order to make a circle graph, you need to know the relative frequency, the percentages. If I added all these percentages up, it would be equal to 100%, or one major circle. And for a bar graph, it's more effective to use the frequency. So circle graphs, like the pie charts and stuff, right? Relative frequency, and then bar graph is regular frequency. Okay, so which of the types of displays for univariate numerical data, right? So remember, this is that different displays. Okay, we have the box unumerical. I mean, or univariate. That's box plot, line plot, histogram, and a stem and leaf. Those are the big four. Okay, and a univariate, a frequency table makes sense for categorical. So the differences between these two questions here are numerical and categorical. So a frequency table works for categorical data. So does a line plot. A circle graph will help for categorical data, and a bar graphs help for categorical data. All right, so that one is that, and that is lesson 1.